you. Let's see. Let's see if I'm actually live. It's taking plenty of time, sweet old time. I want to see how my poll is going. Yes, okay, I am live. Amazing. Most people are saying, what the fuck? You know, okay, like in... Oh, and you're right. I messed up. You're right. I'm sorry. There should have been a fourth option for that. Hey, Linda, what's going on? See, I do love the majority of the what the fuck because, like, if you know, you know. You know what I mean? If you're one of the, if you, like, that's all I can really say about it, honestly. Oh my god. I'm really kicking myself now, though. That's where the no's are going, probably. See, if you say yes, then... If you say no, you're borderline. If you say what the fuck, you're normal. Welcome back. Thank you, Call Me Nevermore. It's great to be back. You have no idea how fucking worried I literally thought... I was literally, like, trying to think of... what's it called? I was literally, like, thinking, like, I'm never going back to YouTube. Like, ever. It's over. It's over. The era of the Nameless Narcissist. I didn't even get to become famous. I was so upset. What's going on? Yeah. And I'm very... I don't know. I've been getting really insecure lately about the performance of my channel, actually. So that came at a really bad time. Christine! What's up? Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, I don't think I've ever seen you here before. The what the fuck option is... Okay, way more people are saying yes than I expected, not gonna lie. I expected the what the fuck to kind of lead the poll for a while. Oh, thank you, Yeehaw. Hi, Sandra. I don't want my partner to crawl into my ribcage. I want to crawl into theirs. Yeah, like Ange pointed that out earlier. I was like, fuck, I really left out the borderlines right now. I'm just going to assume that all of the no's are the borderlines, saying that they want to crawl into somebody else's ribcage. Please be inclusive. I'm discriminating against borderlines with this question. Oh, that's funny. No, it's weird. Like, I don't talk about this very often because I hate it and it's embarrassing. But it's like whenever I'm holding somebody, there's just like this feeling of I can't get them close enough to me. Like, I want to like just shove them in the emptiness and just be there. But like, no matter how hard I like hug them, I can't. And it really sucks. And that's only with like super intimate partners. I'd never do that with like friends. That'd be weird. That'd be really weird. Seth, get over here. Go into my ribcage. Oh, that's funny. I expected more of an audience since I just came back. Absorb your friends. I'm going to eat Seth. God, where is everybody? Aren't they excited that I'm back? I guess I was. See, that's the thing, is I made such a big deal out of this, but like I was, Cass says, OMG, Max used to say you want to be closer to me this way all the time. Yeah, see? I'm telling you. It's like such a weird thing. I wish I could describe it better. Cuteness aggression too. Yeah, I've like heard that that's why we like to like hug cute things, is because we want to like crush them or something. I guess I'm just taking it to a logical extreme. Our time together is just beginning. That was ominous. I think it's Silence of the Lamb skin suit right now. That's what I feel like. I feel like a Silence of the Lamb skin suit. I am a Silence of the Lamb skin suit. No, like, I do. It entertains me looking back on it now, because I'm like, I made such a big deal about coming back, and I was like, man, I was gone for like 2 days, like at most. I was like, most people probably didn't even realize I left. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Wait, are you quoting me? What are you quoting? Because yes. I'm always afraid everybody here is going to forget me. Oh, Hotel California. Okay. Christine, thank you. Okay, yeah, everybody except for me knew what was going on. The Phoenician Kang says, I want someone to accept my flaws and appreciate the fact that despite my lack of emotions, I'm making an effort to be compassionate. Yeah. And I think that's, relatively speaking, pretty reasonable, right? If you're like a narcissist who's actively working on themselves, wait, backpack, I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. But yeah, like, that's the thing, is that like the hardest thing about being a narcissist is like this inability to really accept that people can accept you for who you are, right? And when you become self-aware and you start working on yourself, you kind of realize there's certain parts about like the human experience you're just not going to get. You know, I'm not going to be able to feel emotional empathy, like 99% sure, right? But then it's a rejection of who we are, like deep down, to be like, it's not acceptable that you'll never have emotional empathy. It's like, why can't they accept us for not being able to do that, but also trying to show that we can? It's like, I care about you enough to fake it, right? So there's like a bunch of levels about that are pathological and not pathological that really suck when people are just like, don't accept that about you. Do you not want to feel empty, or do you want to absorb the personality traits of your partner? I don't want to absorb the personality traits of my partner. I don't want to, but I also don't want to feel empty. I've never really adopted my partner's personality traits. I have unconsciously adopted certain like inflections and stuff and mannerisms from people that like I admire. My partner is usually, that's the thing, I always want my partner to be equal to me on the hierarchy. I don't want my partner to be above or below. That wouldn't make them a partner. That'd make them, I don't know, a hooker. That sounded mean, but I can't think of like the right word to describe, like, that's not a partner at that point. It's another sycophant. It's another, like, or somebody that's domineering. That's why I need somebody that can stand up to me. Why I want somebody that will stand up to me and match my energy, but not like push me over either way. I usually have way more people here. I wonder if my question is scaring people away. Only 19 votes, though. It says, currently my ex keeps coming back and finding ways to contact me. We'll start with arguments. He says he's going to block me and everything and then doesn't. Yeah, I felt that. He wants you to, so basically, if I were in that position, like, I'm trying to get you to prove that you care, more or less. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, fight for me, fight for this relationship. Show me that I'm worth something because you're willing to fight for me in this relationship and stuff like that. Maybe not the relationship, but just like him as a person. I would state things like block them on I'll block you on everything. I'm going to do that because it's like this show of I don't give a shit. And if I don't give a shit, you actually, like, if I don't give a shit, then you acting on it and try and prevent me from blocking you and reaching out and stuff like that means that you give way more shits. That, like, proves that you care. Does that make sense? Are you? Mar, nothing is ever enough for me. You know this. No, I appreciate you guys. I have a lot of my like my OGs here, and also, and like, hell, fucking, I don't think any of you know Christine, actually, but she's from TikTok and she goes on like 90% of my lives. She's like she's the Mar of TikTok almost, but she doesn't have personality disorder. Backpack, I'm drinking whiskey per usual, all American, American blended whiskey. Okay, Duchess Yeehaw says, interesting conversation after you left the chat yesterday, Jacob. What are your thoughts on forgiveness? I think anyone says that they forgive are lying. I don't believe anyone truly forgives personally. See, for me, like, people talk about how, like, love is like an action, right? Love is a choice. That's kind of how I view that's kind of how I view forgiveness. It's like I'm always going to have a little bit of resentment there. I am making a choice not to act on that resentment. I'm making a choice to basically ignore that, put that out to the side, and not be angry about that for the sake of the relationship or the sake of the friendship, whatever the situation is, for being the better person. But yeah, I wouldn't say that I truly forgive. I never like fully, and that's why when like we split and shit, stuff goes so bad, right? Is because we don't truly forgive, and then like we go black, and we can only think the only things that have any sort of emotional relevance to them are all the bad things that have ever happened, right? Which is something that like I think about splitting a lot, is how I can logically be like, oh yes, good things about this person, bad things about this person, but at the same time, like if they're white, the black things don't matter. Emotionally, there's nothing there in regards to those things. And then if they're painted black, vice versa. I can know that it's like, oh my God, but that guy's so great. He goes and donates to charity every week. I can know that, right? But I'll also be like, whatever. He's fucking probably doing it for attention. You know, stuff like that. Kat says, even though we aren't together, I still want to try and help him. It's so hard to watch him do this when I just want to be there for him. I mean, I wouldn't say it's healthy to still want to help him and stuff like that. I think it's very normal to want that. But you can also be compassionate and want the best for him, but from a distance. I don't know the ins and outs of your situation, so I'm not going to try to say like either or, but still. Amy Lynn, hey, what's going on? Also, Cassandra's here. What's happening? I sort for ammo at a later date, but then I always thought everyone else does that. See, yeah, I do that too. Are you sure you're not a little... You have some NPD traits, yeah, I swear. But, yeah, like, especially the people that I don't have a huge emotional connection to, I'll be like, oh, what if I don't, like... I'll be like, that's interesting. I might need that later. Like, for me to not do that, I have to have just this ultimate, everlasting trust in somebody. And even then, it's hard. So, Zorka, what's going on? Good to see you here. I was so afraid that when my account got banned, that all of my long-term people were going to unsubscribe because, like, I don't know. I didn't even know if that was a possibility for you guys to do or not. I was just afraid that was going to happen. Like, my fucking abandonment bullshit. Let's see. How does ADHD affect you? I've combined to have a lot of issues with it. I haven't thought about how my ADHD has affected me for a long time, if I'm being honest, just because, like, I'm medicated for it. The main thing, honestly, the thing that, like, gets me in the most trouble is the executive dysfunction, where it's like, oh, I'll do that in a sec, and then I just forget about it and just never do it. And then, like, shit piles up, and I'm like, oh, I should do that. Well, I'll do it in a sec, and it just goes on and on and on like that, which a lot of people mistake for procrastination or laziness and stuff like that, but it's not. Like, at all. Like, well, I mean, maybe you could consider it laziness, but it's very different. I think that, or, because, like, the things like, oh, I forgot where my keys are. Well, because I got around those things, like, for years, I would sleep with my keys in my pocket, so I would always know where they were. But that executive dysfunction, that's the thing that I would say actually cripples me. I noticed the forgiveness thing with all of the people with NPD traits. You guys don't seem to forgive because you're projecting bad intentions to our words and actions that aren't really there. But what if they are there? I know they're not. Probably, maybe. I don't know. It messes me up because somebody actually was like, well, if you're self-aware, why are you assuming bad intentions on people? And I'm like, well, what if there are bad intentions? It's going against your wiring, you know? It's like, just as it would be as unnatural, it's like me telling somebody to be like, assume that everything everybody does it has bad intentions. That's as unnatural that person as it is for me to be like, oh, everybody has good intentions. So even like, and even if I've internalized being like, yeah, most people aren't out to fucking get me. Somebody comes up and they do something that makes me think, that was sketchy. And like, I can't tell, my default is going to be towards the bad intentions. Yes, Cassandra too. Yes, PTSD. This is very hypervigilance with trauma shit. What do I do when a friend with... This is Mar, by the way. MPD is clearly asking for help and support. When I try to ask him what's up, he disappears. Mar, I fucking do that. Fuck yeah. Wait, Mar, you weren't talking about me, were you? I hope you weren't talking about me, but yeah, because I do that. Fuck. I mean, my honest answer is like, it's not your responsibility to broach the boundaries that he's trying to get you to broach, you know? Because like what he's expecting when he does that is like, he's too ashamed to show what it is, but he wants somebody to know what it is. So basically he wants it forced out of him so it doesn't look like his fault that he is being vulnerable. That's kind of a bad way to put it, but I hope that makes sense. And basically at the end of the day, if he's like, oh my God, my life is so terrible. And then you're like, oh, what's wrong? And then he's like, nothing. It's not your responsibility to keep like prying out of him. That's honestly at the end of the day, that's his own shit that you like, just kind of be like, what I would do is I'd just be like, well, if you need anything, I'm here. Like if you need to talk, like I'm an open book, like you can trust me, whatever. Still. MCCM, hey, what's going on? It's nice to see you. It has been a long time, hasn't it? Damn. It's like I paint them black in terms of intuition, but you can cognitively recognize they aren't inherently bad people. Yeah, Phoenician King, you get it. You get it. Thanks, Ruth. Yeah, I was pretty relieved too. You guys have no idea the kind of like hell. I think Ruth caught a little bit of my like spiral too. I was just like thought my life was over. I was like, I'm never doing YouTube again. I texted Tess and told her we've been doing everything wrong. We need to do a podcast. I don't know what was going on with me, if I'm being honest. I was just off the rails. I was trying to convince myself that this was actually a good new beginning and that I was wasting my time on YouTube anyway. It was a whole thing. Like, it was funny because it's like, YouTube was like the backbone of all my social media. And I was just trying to convince myself, well, I didn't need YouTube. But luckily, YouTube support. I am just going to be sucking YouTube support's dick for like the rest of my life because holy crap did they get me out of that. That was awesome. Now you're subscribed to both YouTube accounts, right? For Backpack says, forgiveness. I can't decide whether or not the infraction is worth continued strife. If it's not forgiveness, it's ignoring things. It's not forgiveness, it's ignoring things until I can't. Yes. Backpack is another NPD, and that is perfectly put. Do you ever have the urge to... Oh, also, hi, Ivy. Do you ever have the urge to reconnect with an ex due to a period of nostalgia? However, it's always fleeting and you almost feel disgusted after reconnecting? Fuck yeah. Oh, God, yeah. That happens all the time. I usually don't act on it, especially nowadays. But basically, I will... How do I put it? Like, yeah, I'll like, especially when I'm drunk. Again, I'll be honest. And then I get like, start thinking about them. I get really nostalgic. It's like, oh, why did I do that? I treated this girl really bad. Like, I have so many good memories with them. And I'll reach out to them. And I'll feel ashamed that I showed that vulnerability of being like, oh, well, like, I would like to talk to you again. Like, that's pathetic. They should be coming to me. Like, and then, like, I'll try to, like, basically just not talk to them anymore because I find it so humiliated. Cassandra, Cassandra, you must know what that means. Yeah, Christiane was late diagnosed and always called lazy. Yep. Same. Fellow narcissist here, have you always had an obsession with movie villains you viewed as misunderstood heroes? Okay, listen, all I'm going to say about that, I'm just going to say that the first character in a movie that I ever related to was Scar from The Lion King, so yes. Are you back? I can't believe I'm addicted. Yes, Claudia, I am back. I am back. Oh, wait. Would and... Oh, the distrust schema. I don't know what the distrust schema is. I would... Ruth, if you make a video on the distrust schema, I'll make a video talking about it when it comes to narcissism or whatever. Andrew, why do you think we love torturing people with BPD? Because I don't, and frankly, I have been destroyed by some BPDs in my life. I would say that there's been a BPD person that is the person that I thought that I loved the most in my life. Now I look back on that now and I'm like, was that even love? Probably not, who knows? But I thought that I did. I got no pleasure from hurting her. Well, maybe vindictively, but not really. It wasn't, I never tortured them. It was never for the purpose of hurting them. Hey, Judy, what's happening? Cassandra, I swore that you would understand it. Karen, what's happening? My spare time I'm reminiscing. Wait. I spend most of my spare time reminiscing about the 1980s British pop scene. I don't spend anywhere near as much time thinking about interpersonal stuff as you, Jacob. So who is the deviant? That'll be the next poll for the next live. I don't know. 1980s British pop scene. Okay, Johnster, I really am curious now if you're British or not, because if not, that's even more hilarious. You Long, what's happening? When I watch true crime, I identify with the perpetrator and think that he could have done better, right? And I get really annoyed at like all the protagonists. I'm like, it's almost like I get annoyed at anybody weak, I guess, because I'd rather be like the perpetrator than the victim, because I just find being the victim so pathetic. And I know what people want to say. It's like, oh, narcissists play victim all the time. Yes, but there's a different connotation to it. What I always say is that like playing a victim for me is like wanting pity. I don't want pity, but for narcissists, it's more of I'm the protagonist and then there's antagonists, if that makes sense. Oh, this world's not fair. Like I have to fucking fight this evil and shit like this. It's not, oh no, the antagonists. It's I have to destroy the antagonists. I know that distinction seems unimportant, but does that make sense? Johnster is British. Okay, well, fair enough. It would have been hilarious if you were like some German dude who obsessed about the 1980s British pop scene or punk scene. Why is it my ex would put me on blast out of nowhere, then the very next day text me that he will always have love for me and want the best for me? He was probably trying to make up for it, but like he didn't want to like like for me it would be like, oh, I got annoyed at this person for whatever reason that I really like, and I hurt them because in the moment I didn't even remember that I liked them. Then it happens, I feel kind of ashamed about it, and I want the situation to be fixed because I do like this person, but I can't bring up that I did something wrong because that would be fucking shameful as hell and embarrassing. So I'm just going to do this nice gesture in order to just kind of smooth over that, and then we'll be good. It makes sense in my head. And like, I mean, I I would out of nowhere, like, and also I would get like capricious and out of nowhere, like, text people, be like, I love you so much. You mean so much to me. Hey, Potential's here. What's happening? Oh, you got your account back, but what exactly happened? Did you click some bad infected link? I have no idea. I think my password got leaked because some of my accounts that use the same ones all got hacked. It was terrible. Do MPDs suffer from limerence, or is that just a BPD thing? I suffer from limerence, for sure. Towards the beginning of relationships, at least. But the limerence fades very, very quickly. As soon as I have any sort of inclination that they aren't actually my perfect partner. You never want to hurt them. What is the goal in the mistreatment, or is it collateral damage from you acting from your own hurt? I always describe it kind of as like the borderline narcissist relationship. That's such a complex topic that can take a lot of forms. So I'm just going to speak about just narcissists being in relationships in general. I'll actually speak about that relationship a little bit. Give me a second. Lime rinse. Fair enough, Mark. But like, generally with narcissists, it's kind of like a bull in a china shop, right? We know what we want. In the case of a bull, it's getting the rope off its butt. But with us, it's like we just need our self-esteem regulation needs to be met. And we're basically willing to do whatever it takes to get those things. And most of the time, like I don't go and try to hurt people. I don't enjoy that. Unless it's vindictive. Because that's different. That's a whole other conversation. But it's like, why would I just want to hurt somebody? It's more often, it's that, okay, getting admiration from this person is going to be beneficial for me, or achieving this thing is going to increase my self-esteem. This person is in the way. Either I'm going to rationalize why I was able to trample over that person. It's like, oh, well, that person did something bad to me in the past, so like they deserve it. Or like just saying, oh, well, I'll get them back later. It'll be fine. Or I just won't even think about it. Like I'll do something to get my self-esteem needs met and not even realize that I hurt a bunch of people around me because I just wasn't even thinking about it. Like, for example, once I was kind of being a dick because I found it funny that I kind of made this guy who had a complex over me. I kind of played into some of his insecurities around me because he was shit-talking me and wanted revenge. So not a great example because I wasn't intentionally trying to hurt somebody there. But this was one of the vindictive times, right? It's like he's harming my... I guess that was still a self-esteem need, though, right? He was talking shit about me. To protect my self-esteem, I had to punish him so that he wouldn't do that anymore. Yes, my mind is weird. Anyways, but by me messing with him, it ruined... Like, we had, like, a whole group that was staying somewhere for a few days. And I remember talking to my therapist about it, and I was like, oh, but I was justified for this, and this reason. I didn't really do anything wrong. And she was like, well, did you consider how, like, the other people felt? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, like, don't you think that it would be kind of upsetting to them that this person is distressed this entire time and stuff like that? And I was like, oh, yeah, he did throw off the vibe. Oh, shit. And, like, it was this whole big moment of realization of that, like, my action, like, me and whoever I'm intending to do the action to aren't the only two things in the scenario right there. Does that make sense? It was a really weird moment. That was a fucking huge tangent. I'm sorry. What do you think of... the fucking hilarious coincidence, Homer Simpson. Speaking of movie TV characters, what do you think of Homelander from The Boys? Do you think he may have narcissistic traits? I have not watched it, but fun fact, I was at a bachelor party with one of my very, very good buddies a while back, and somebody there who who was a mutual friend of me and my bachelor friend. For a very, very long time, me and that guy were friends. But also, hi Discord mom. I was wondering what's happening with the chat. But he actually, I literally got super wasted and went up to this old mutual friend who we hate each other now. And I'm like drunk as piss. And I go up to him and I say, hey man, like, listen, I have something to say. and if you tell anybody, I will deny it tooth and nail. but I'm sorry for what I did, yada, yada, yada. And he was just kind of like, I forgive you, but I don't trust you. And then he told me to go watch The Boys, and he compared me to Homelander, which, from the little I know about Homelander, not a flattering thing to hear. Oh, man. Hi there. Since you say that victim isn't really the right word, do you have a better phrase than playing the victim? I mean, we're all kind of the protagonists in our own story. I would say painting others as villains, right? Because we are the protagonists of our own stories, but that doesn't mean that everybody who disagrees with us is the villain. Because again, that's why I disagree with like the victim kind of verbiage. It's just that it's not that I feel like a victim. It's that I feel like I'm being wronged unfairly by this other force, but it's not a force that's stronger than me or that even has the capacity to victimize me. So I guess like painting others as villains. But then again, I mean, but I guess then it's like, oh, but I do say I'm like done bad by and stuff like that. I would have to think about it. Because like, the reality of it is playing the victim, fair enough. Like, I don't feel like that's what it is. And like a narcissist wouldn't describe it as that. But from the outside perspective, it's like whatever. Like, it conveys what you're trying to convey. Jacob, you'd be way more superhuman if you start lifting weights. Maybe one day. Oh, fuck, Freddie, is this like the first live you've been to? I've not seen you on a live, I don't think. Could you tell from your perspective why you think a narcissistic father would discard their own young child? So I want to clarify that, like, before I get into this, that it's going to be hard for me to answer. Well, first of all, I probably would need more context than that in general. I can think of a few ideas, but basically, like, I have a soft spot for kids. Kids are, like, the only thing I have any sort of sympathy for. That and pets. And very, very old people. Those are the three categories. I would never do anything like that to a kid. So it's going to be hard for me to put myself in a place where I can say, like, what I would do in that situation. But the only thing, I'm going to assume that they left the mother too. The only thing that I can think of is that it didn't meet the fantasy, right? Like, if I felt trapped because I had a kid and that I felt like my partner wasn't my soulmate, that my soulmate was still out there and stuff like that, I'd be able to justify in my head why I could, like, did. I would never do that, though. That's fucked up. If I felt like my soulmate was still out there and I was married and had a kid, I would take the fucking kid with me. One sec. Yeah, paying up. Yeah, tendency to express there's a tendency to expect justice and fairness that often comes with the NPD. It is an issue, isn't it? Because the justice is so one-sided, but like it's this very strong feeling of things need to be just. It's like when I talk about revenge, I don't feel like it's revenge. I feel like I'm just exerting justice. You know what I mean? The foul language doesn't help your videos. Doesn't hurt them either, I bet. I'm a 20-something-year-old... God, how old am I? 23. I'm a 23-year-old narcissist. I'm going to curse. Foul language helps me process my anger. See, MCCM got it. Foul language, it's for me, not for everybody else. Yeah, Bacana, I hope that answer about the father was, like, kind of good. Like, I see things like that. I have such a hard time. Like, I want to be able to answer questions like that. It's just so outside of my, like, ability to even, like, understand. Just because, like, if it comes to a kid, I'm like, fuck, I can't do that to a child. But yeah, just not living up to the fantasy is the only thing I can really think of. I'd rationalize it. Oh wait, in terms of the child, I don't think he does on purpose. He just doesn't feel a connection, feels threatened. That could be actually a thing too. This is actually something I have fear about having a kid and not feeling connected to it. And I've heard some stories about how like, and again, there's so much that goes into this, how like a narcissist will feel threatened by like the love that the mother has for their mutual child, because it's like, what's it called? Sorry, I got distracted. Sometimes I'll read a comment and I just have this entire different line of thought. But yeah, like I think that would probably be. It's like, oh, I can't connect to my kid, and I can imagine how much shame that would bring up. Oh, hi KFK. How much shame it would bring up not to be able to connect to your own child, and how you would try to like avoid that and get really distant to them. Like if it's a situation where like they're just completely neglecting the needs of the child, I would guarantee that would be the case. I guarantee that'd be the case of like I'm ashamed that I can't connect to my kid, and I don't even want to like think about it. Basically, KFK doesn't understand the poll either. My gosh, some of y'all are fucking fake cluster bees. I swear. I'm joking. Beyond insight about how inconsiderate we are, etc., what if this just derives from a neurological configuration? Insight is important, but I also think to have to address our neurological state. I agree. It's just that, like, how do you go about addressing the neurological state? You know what I mean? Other than like medications. It's complicated. Mental health shit is very complicated. I do think it derives from something neurological as well, though, right? Too, right? And you gotta kind of train yourself to go against that shit. It's hard though. Also, hi Anna. For example, borderlines in cognitive behavioral therapy show changes in amygdala hyperactivity. PD question says. That I did not know that, but yeah, that makes sense a lot. But yeah, and I guess that is the way that you address the neurological portions of it, right? But that so much of that is you have to have insight in order to get to that level, in my opinion. But that being said, insight on its own doesn't do jack shit. I'm like one of the most aware narcissists I know, and I'm probably the least well functioning. But yeah, I agree with you, PD. I don't think I said hi to you, but hi by the way, PD questions. Shame is the only human aspect about us. It's the reason that we can't have any social conscience at all, in contrast to ASPDs. It's what keeps us on a leash. That's for damn sure. I don't know. I'm not. Can ASPDs? I know we have a few. Hey, all of my ASPDs represent. Do you guys feel shame? Also, what's going on, Rich? Early morning barking is here. Never worry about swearing. Yeah, I'm not. Trust me. I'm good on that one. I swear for way too much. Thank you for being visible with this. Thank you. Oh, fuck. My phone is dying. I gotta plug it in. One-on-one's going to be great for you guys. Now I'm doing these one-on-ones because I'm going to be able to afford like actual equipment for my videos and my live streams. I won't have to be constantly like doing shit like that. Oh, I think someday I saw tell us your PayPal story. Okay, so I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm banned from PayPal. So basically how I learned this is for a couple years I was getting notifications on my yes, and a new chair, Cassandra, gosh. Also, hi, James. I would get emails pretty consistently about like there were some changes done to my PayPal account, or like there was something I needed to answer or something like that. I had no idea. I honestly don't know 100% what the fuck the emails are saying, and I just ignored them. Then one day, I have TikTok, and so I wanted to take my money out of TikTok, and it told me, you have to use PayPal. And I'm like, okay, let's check it out. And I go on and it says my account has been permanently disabled. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why is it, how was it permanently disabled? I don't even remember when I made this. And the truth is, I never even used it. I used it once. And I'll get to that in a second. So I'm going through like these messages, and basically all it says is that we don't have to, like, I email them being like, hey, why am I banned? Tell me why I'm banned. Like, unban me. And they're like, sorry, we can't tell you. And I'm like throwing a fit with them over the phone, being like, what the fuck do you mean that you don't have to tell me? Like, I didn't do anything wrong. You're banning me from making any other accounts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And maybe I should go fucking try to fix that actually today. I'm thinking about it. But anyways, so I'm like, okay, let's see if there's anything in my history that I did that would actually warrant me being banned. And so I go through the history, and there's like one transaction that, like, and I made it when I was like 14. There's one transaction when I was 15 or 16, I think 16. So I was 16, and I see when I was 16, I made a transaction for $60. And I was like, what the fuck was that? And I'm like thinking about it, I'm looking at it, and I realize what happened. Why this might be related, I don't know if they actually tracked it back to this or not, but that $60 was used to buy Bitcoin to order drugs off the dark web when I was 16, which I did get those drugs. So I'm not sure if those things are completely connected, but there's a good chance that that is why. Not to mention that if I were to buy those shrooms with today's money in that amount of Bitcoin, those shrooms would have been about $6,000. Oh my God. Do you have friends that you use purely as entertainment? And if they were purely entertainment, would you tell them that you're using them for entertainment? I wouldn't tell them, because I definitely... Mar, I feel like I'm going to make you self-conscious with your MPD friend, but like, yeah, I have a few. I have a few that are, yes, they're just for entertainment. And you kind of know, because like like, you'll know if... I'm going to try to have like deep intellectual stimulating conversation with people that I don't view like that, right? Like, you'll know if I'm not using you like that, generally. But I would never tell them, because then they won't be my self-esteem regulation guys. It'd be kind of bad for me. Would you like to be married? What is for you marriage? I don't know. I want to be... Okay, so I have my I literally made a video about this that's coming out tomorrow. But I have this fantasy of like my soulmate and my ideal love and shit like that I really want. And part of that is marriage, right? That's part of the fantasy. But at the same time, it's like the idea of being tied down to somebody where if my real soulmate comes along and I could miss out on that, oh my God, my life is over. So I really want it, but my other aspects of my pathology get in the way because I'm stuck on these unrealistic expectations of what my partner should be. I want to live inside a rib cage. You gotta take some hollowing out though. Oh my God, dude. Freddie. Guys, Freddie was one of like the fucking... He was like probably like my first 10 subscribers or some shit. And BPD rave, here I am not understanding how yes isn't in the lead. I love, for me, I think you can tell which group answers which, because it's like the yes is like probably predominantly NPD, and then the no is predominantly BPD because they want to live in the ribcage. And then the normal people are, what the fuck? Wait, Dr. Ruth, I wonder what you answered if you're still here. Welcome back, Sandra. Wait, okay. G says, oops, maybe are we talking about inside our rib, too, literally? Not, I mean, not the rib itself, the rib cage. Are you talking about you just want to become one with each other, kind of like enmesh your lives together because of how strongly you feel? I hope my other cluster Bs can help me through explaining this. It's like not, it's not like obviously I don't want somebody to like their body to be stuffed inside my rib cage. That would probably kill me and them, right? So that's not good. But like, it feels like, because you know there's the emptiness, and when I'm holding somebody, it feels like I can never get them close enough, and like I'm just like squeezing them to me, and like our skin is touching shit like that, but it doesn't fill that emptiness, and it feels like it should, and so I'm just like, and so it feels like I want them to be in my rib cage, like I want them to, I want it to feel like they're in my rib cage. So I guess not. I don't know. I want something. This is rare for me, by the way. I usually don't want people being in my rib cage. But like I have certain partners that I've had that like people are saying psycho. I get it. Like I've been saying, I know, but it's like stop calling me weird. Yeah, like I want them to fill the void. I want them to like fill the void. Like brothers, only closer. Granted, insight is helpful. I think us MPD should explore everything possible to reduce certain neurological hyperarousal, hypervigilance. Yeah, I mean it's fucking terrible, isn't it? Because it's like when you have a, but like, because at the same time it's like when you have a personality disorder, everything starts to go through that lens of, but what if I'm wrong? What if I'm being insane right now? And so you do need to be vigilant of it, but it sucks. It sucks. Remind me of my ex. I had a hard time letting him go, even though I feel better without him. Do you have any insights on that might make it easier? About like letting go of your ex? I mean, honestly, I feel like being able to accept that you feel better without him is like probably the most important step you could have taken, and now it's only going to be time. I always say compassion from a distance. That's the best way to heal. Understand that, you know, nothing that happened was personal to you, that he's just a sick dude going through his own crap and is hurting people along the way, and that you wouldn't be happy with him. It's always going to suck a little bit, I think. I think that's how stuff works from what I hear. But I don't know. It's from just how you phrase that, it feels like you got it fucking figured out, if I'm being honest. No, I don't have any Bitcoin now. Paid $200 for first Bitcoin to buy weed, would have been 60. Jesus Christ, dude. Using Bitcoin to buy drugs on the dark web was hella enterprising for a 16-year-old. What can I say? I was a smart kid. Both my parents are narcs. I think I may have some narc traits. Diagnosed with BPD, not NPD. Occasionally doing some same shit the narcs do, because NPD and BPD are very similar. What helped you live a more peaceful life? See, this is the kind of advice that I have the hardest time giving, is because my life is still a wreck. But mainly, the main difference that came into that like really affected me is my interpersonal relationships starting to be more stable. And those only became more stable because I was able to take a step back and be like, when I started to be able to train myself, is my anger proportionate right now? Do they have a point? Are they actually attacking me? Trying to like truly empathize, actually. Not like emotionally, but being able to step back and be like, what is their actual intention? What are they actually thinking right now? Is this an attack on me? Am I being angry for no reason? Et cetera, et cetera. That's probably helped me live the most, because like my interpersonal relationships are very important to me. So it was probably, so like just by those being stabilized, by far gave me the most peace. By entertainment is that meant as a joke or like sex? No, not well. Okay, it could be for sex, sure. I mean, I probably wouldn't, but like it could be for sex. But no, typically it's like, oh, this is a guy I go party with, or something like that, or just this is a guy I joke around with. Usually not sex. What would you think it would take to actually cure narcissism? A lobotomy. No, I don't think that it can necessarily be cured, but it would take, because like there is a neurological aspect to it. You know what I mean? Like we have the areas in our brain connecting reward and the self are like have bad connections to them according to some studies. We have issues with we have some issues in the insular right our cortex, whatever, prefrontal cortex, I forget what it is, that dictates empathy and stuff like that. I don't really think it can be cured. It would take some miracle in neuroscience too, in my opinion. Okay, the friend literally tells me whenever he's using me for entertainment. Wait, does he tell you that you were there for the purpose of entertainment, or that in the moment he's using you for entertainment? Because I would say the latter. I'd be like, yeah, I'm bored right now. Like, what's up? But if it's a friend that I literally have around for entertainment, that also, first of all, thank you, John Small. But I wouldn't say if their only purpose was for entertainment. One second. Was the ribcage question inspired by Kauto, the early 90s Arnie classic Total Recall, who was fusing the body of his conjoined twin? No. I'm sorry that, like, I've been like looking at that and I'm like, how can I answer this in a question that is worth the $5? Then I was like, the only answer is no. I did, when you mentioned though, who has fused the body of his conjoined twin, all I could really think of was, have you ever seen the movie Basket Case? Because that's just what I'm picturing right now. That movie scarred me as a kid. Jesus Christ. My dad used to show me all sorts of like cult classics or older movies like that. Horrifying. I really want to watch Duel again. I haven't watched that since I was a kid. What has been your biggest therapy aha? I was actually talking about it earlier, when I had this moment of, like, because, like I was fucking with this guy because I felt like he hurt me. And I didn't even for a second consider the idea that the people tangentially could be affected by the fact that I was fucking with this guy, right? Like my therapist pointed out, it's like, well, what do you think, like, how do you think that made his friends feel or something like that? And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, or like, for example, like, let's say I go and I'm like outing these terrible truths about somebody to somebody. All I can think, like, I don't know. Let's say there's a friend of a friend and I hate the one guy. And so I'm talking to that guy's friend and being like, oh, that guy's a piece of shit for this, and this reason, because I know all the secrets, because that's just who I am. It wouldn't even occur to me that I'm hurting the person that I'm telling these things to. You know what I mean? I'm only hurting the person I'm intending to hurt. The person that is, like, receiving all this information, I think I'm doing them a favor, if anything. I think that was my biggest moment in therapy where I was like, oh, that makes sense. Yes, KFK, not actually in. Wait, you've met Jeff? Ruth, who's Jeff? You guys all see what was just, I mean, $2 is $2. I feel like I have to do it at a point in the stream where people aren't talking about it, because I feel like it's going to get... Fuck it. You will never expect it happening. There's my sock. Ugh, that was worth the $2. I'm not taking it. You're going to have to pay me more to take off the sock, though. Oh, Jeffrey Young invented schema therapy. Okay, that's kind of cool. Yeah, see, Danny, I want to crawl into my favorite person's ribcage. Can I be close enough otherwise physically? Yeah, see, you get it. I just want it the other way around. Oh, Judy says, oh, that makes sense in reference to the ribcage explanation. Yes, I can relate to wanting to be the one inside the ribcage. I never thought of it that way before. Interesting comparison. I'm glad it makes sense, honestly. It's kind of surprising that it does. Yeah, because, like, I don't really understand wanting to be inside the ribcage. That sounds terrifying. But, like holding somebody so close, like, oh my God, why can't I have a partner who will crawl inside my ribcage? It feels symbolic almost that the borderline wants to. Well, Judy's not borderline. I don't remember. I'm sorry, Judy. I forget. But like for a lot of the borderlines wanting to like crawl inside, the losing the self, and then me, who's just this domineering asshole who like everyone loses themselves in, and I'm like, yes, get in my ribcage. Yeah. Do you feel like you've missed out on life by being a narc? The fact that I'm prevented from being connected with the rest of humanity kind of makes me sad and nihilistic. Yeah. There's something very unfortunate about the idea that for the rest of my fucking life, I'm never going to experience like so much of the human experience that everyone else says makes it worth living. You know what I mean? Like, it fucking sucks. Because it's like, and like, I'm usually at peace with it more or less. But at the same time, I'm not. Because I'm really not. You know what I mean? There's a melancholy about it. Like, I'm not to the point that makes me nihilistic, but it is something that like occasionally hit me and I'll be like, oh, I'm never going to be able to experience that. Cool. Can crime be a turn on for somebody with NPD, or will it likely anger you or make you uncomfortable? I don't think it's a turn on. Usually it just kind of annoys me. Like, I'm just kind of like, oh my God, why are you crying? This isn't that big of a deal. It's very, oh, also, hi Jessica. Wait, why is everybody telling Judy what did Judy do? Okay, anyways, going back. Christine, understanding how other brains work is so hard but so necessary. Yeah, I agree. It is, and like I think that's one of the best things about my channel is that like I actually learned how other people fucking think. Not only like for normal people, but like for me to understand borderlines or schizoids or like autistic people or whatever. Like I understand like so much more. What's the most narcissistic trait you've ever seen a PD display? Honestly, it's that like, okay, so I might get backlash on this one, but like, I find borderlines have, because you know, like the narcissists will do like that, like they'll minimize and denial because of shame, right? But like the borderlines have that, well, my emotions are correct thing. And honestly, I think that's harder to break through than the narcissist like shame defense thing, if I'm being honest. and a lot of people associate that denial of reality or that like just stubbornness in terms of who's right despite evidence being presented as more narcissistic. I think it's more borderline, if I'm being honest. People might not agree with me on that one. Oh, Michelle's here. What's going on? Yes, thank you. I'm glad I'm back too. So you think it'd take the ultimate team and cocktail of neuroscience and psychology? Yep, exactly. I tried attacking personality disorders like swinging at a pinata with a blindfold. Now I think. What even is interpretive dance? Are you guys interpreting? Am I interpreting? And also 2 minutes? That's a long time. I don't know. I guess by an hourly rate, that's pretty good. Okay, once somebody explains what interpretive dance is to me, I'll do it. But I gotta catch up with questions first. Anyways, Ange, I don't know. I still do I think it'd be both, you know? Like, you can, like, cut at, like, some of the things that need the precise cutting and also just bludgeon the shit out of it. Oh, my God. Everybody wants me to dance. This is scary. €2 was worth it, Sandra. Oh no, both Yeehaw and I don't know what to do. And T wants to know how I was diagnosed with NPD, and I feel overwhelmed because everyone wants me to dance. I donate $20 to cut your hair right now. Cut it to what length? Because I have a haircut coming up actually. How do you get diagnosed with NPD? Basically, like. Long story short, just so I can get to this interpretive dance, I wanted to impress a girl, and I was like, look how healthy I am. I'm in therapy now. I am great. And then she broke up with me, and I just kind of ended up staying in therapy because I was like an idiot. Yes, it will be available to watch later as a vid. Fuck me. Okay. Please don't dance. Okay, so we can make this like a Okay, I'm going all the way to the bottom. I'm sorry for everybody who I'm missing. But Jesus Christ. I'm just saying maybe we should have a auction between whoever gives more money of me to dance or not dance will be the person who wins out, and whether I'll do it or not. Anyways, hi, Breck. Wait, let me see. 9 millimeters? Like, cut off 9 millimeters of hair? How much hair is that? That's not that much hair, is it? I can do that with, like, a nail clipper. Yes, all right. 9 millimeters of hair. Wait. I'm not fucking doing that. I mean, I could. I mean, I'll do a little bit, actually. No, I did it. See, now you guys can bid on taking little bits of my hair. You're gonna watch me flail down the slippery slope, Reg. I feel like I'm a stripper right now. John Street would get banned. Listen, I am pretty eager. When a bunch of people said when my account got sorry, give me like 2 seconds. Josh? Yeah. Yeah. All right. You guys have been so terrible to me that I had to leave because you made me cut some of my hair. God damn it, Yeehaw. No, I haven't done that. But yeah, when a bunch of borderlines thought that I blocked them because my channel got deleted, it made me realize I'm very trigger happy with the block. Okay, let's see. Holy shit. 230. Oh my god, that's a lot of session. So I am being underpaid. Oh wait, no, that's proper payment almost. So on eBay now. How much you want to pay for my hair, guys? Okay. No, we're not. I still have to do the fucking. Okay, we gotta like change the poll now. I gotta start a new stream to say what my dance should be. John, sir, listen, I am a dance for $10. I'm anything you want me to be. This is a serious topic, everybody. Okay, wait, what comments are still up? Sandra, what'd you say? Wait, who did you dox? Oh, yeah, I forgot that you doxed that guy. That's hilarious. Okay. Does this count as dancing? What is some, like, music that won't get me in trouble for copyright? I do want to start a podcast. I want to do one with my best friend, but he's bad at existing. And I also want to start one with Rich, but me and him just never do it because, you know, we're us. Does anybody know any royalty-free music? Yeah, open license music that I won't get demonetized for. Bro, I did worse for like $5. Skip the podcast, sell hair, yes. Christine, exactly. What is batch, Sandra? $30 for a 3-minute song? Okay, so wait. Oh, so you are ripping me off. I ate a lit cigarette for $10. I'd do that. You and Rich would be on like 5-hour long tangents. Yeah, exactly. We would not talk about anything relevant. See, and that's why me and him need a podcast to get all that shit out so we can actually talk about like cluster B stuff. Yeah, a lot of people were worried it was like an inside job. Where is the... Okay, yes, let's find... Well, my dance is almost over, but... Oh, shit. Wait, let's see. Okay, let's see if I can get some actual music going on. Here, creator music. Beta. I accept the terms and conditions. Do you think there's any Will Wood? Guys! This is my favorite song. Oh, and now it's over. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, we're good.
I'm that first person they talked about
in all the books. Okay, I'll turn that down a little bit.
I'm that perspective
You cannot down. See how I look. Baby, it's all about me. This is the best song ever. So, how does this work? Sorry, I'm completely neglecting you guys because I'm just curious what this is. Oh shit. Well, it says only videos, so we may be fucked, but whatever. Well, at this point, like, it's too late. I just gotta play it. Okay, I'm actually going to pay attention to everybody now. Hey, Long, what's happening? Thank you. Always knows in a room full of maps. You have an interest in geography. Always want to know that. More of an interest in history, honestly. Thank you, you Long. But yeah, more of an interest in geography. I mean, in history than geography, but both, honestly. Like, and like, I mean, I just love the way Austro-Hungary looks on a map. I don't know why. It's like some autistic trait of mine, I guess. Oh, bye, KFK. Okay, I'm back now. I'm done, like, obsessing over what all this fucking shit. Michelle, once you can't see it right now, but over there I have a map of me road tripping across the entire United States. The entire way I was listening to a Roman history podcast. I knew, like, all the Roman emperors from fucking Augustus to Marcus Aurelius. Do you ever catch yourself being too grandiose? That's in response to devalue yourself, but deep down you still not grandiose. I'm grandiose. I'll admit when I'm wrong, but just to be right. I will, like, I'll be grandiose and I'll be like, oh, I'm not actually that great. But then by recognizing that, I'm like, but I'm pretty damn great that I recognize that. I don't really get self-defeating about it, though. I heard two narcs can't handle each other. What are your thoughts about that? Only if they if they don't view each other as equals, then yeah, they can't. Me and Tess are really close, and we have to view each other on, like, separate hierarchies that are equal so that we aren't competing with each other. But it gets dodgy sometimes. But for the most part, it's like, as long as we're equals, it's fine. It's when that dynamic shifts that things can get bad. Don't come at me, I'm the main character. Okay, well, enough of that. I'm afraid I'm going to get demonetized for that. I feel like I will. Who knows? Yes, I didn't put a hip movement in there because I didn't want to stand up. How much do we need to pay you to get you to wear cat ears on a tree? Maggie, well, by the way, hi, Maggie. I don't think I said hi to you yet. No, you wouldn't have to pay me. I'd do it for free. No, I would. I don't know. I'd do it for like $10. If I had, I mean, you have to pay for the cat ears too. Wait, what's an Elvis on camera? What do you mean? I do not recognize other people who are narcissists. There's too much projection going on for me. I see one narcissistic trait in somebody, and I'm like, what is a narcissist? I have to talk to them for like hours. The song was The Main Character by Will Wood, by the way. You have a good night too, Michelle. Wait, what did they spoken about? Don't worry, Mar. She already doxed me. Oh, well, that seems... Yeah, John Steer is like watching this chaos unfold, realizing the key to this was my whiskey intake and the fact that it was a live stream. Man, I really should start an OnlyFans. Jesus Christ, I'd make a killing. Remember when my live streams used to be about narcissism? You know, before we had an entire live stream dedicated to cannibalism. Yeah, because they will warn me. It's just that it was on the... Because it was weird, because it was on their little thing of like, oh, royalty-free music or like revenue-sharing music. And it was like, oh yeah, it's fine, but only for videos, not for live streams. I'm like, wait, what? So, we'll see. T says cannibalism, wait, what the fuck? So we had a live stream where I was off my meds, and I spent like a good half hour on that stream talking about the ethics of legalizing cannibalism. That was a great stream. I love the only thing said about my cannibalism stream. That was a great stream. For everybody who wasn't there, but they must be very confused. The Amazon wish list is a good idea. I mean, am I only going to put cat ears and maid outfits on it? We're still working on the Nameless merch. It's a process right now. I did just get a YouTube like in-store thing, so actually I'm gonna talk to Tess about that tonight. I ran out of medication, T. I picked up the rest of my meds the 2 days after when I was supposed to. Damn it, I should have paid attention to YouTube sooner. I'm pretty sure that one's still up. I'm pretty sure that's the one, if you go on my live streams, there's a live stream where I'm wearing an army helmet and a leather jacket. If you look it up, I'm pretty sure that one's it. No, it's like called like Off Meds Edition or something like that. The renowned cannibal stream, one of your finest streams. Amen. How's the new med? Has it helped? Does it change your cigarette cravings? I don't think it has helped. I don't think it's high enough yet though. Because it has not changed my nicotine cravings at all. Sub from BBD from Russia. You and Milkshake do a great job. Cannibalism heart. Thank you so much. We try. Yeah, it's one of my posted lives, Judy. Again, I think it's called Unmedicated Edition or something like that. Yeah, it's not the same as live. Fair enough, Christine. The helmet stream is the one with the ankle. I think I deleted that one. I think I deleted the ankle one. But I'm pretty sure there's somebody who recorded parts of that one, though. $5, I'll show my ankle again. God, people fucking talking shit about me in Russian in the chat. Yeah, I have the ankle bars. I'm glad those are archived. I'm gonna be like canceled for that later. Like those are gonna get leaked. That could be like a whole what's it called? A whole scandal. You know how like it's like, oh, leaked celebrity nudes, and I can have leaked celebrity ankle pics. The fact that my legs exist is a controversial topic, given that, you know, I am only a torso in my videos. Any updates from the person you reached out to, like, since the video posted about the narcissist apologies? Yeah, I made a video about that. It didn't go the way I wanted it to. Mainly just because, like, it just kind of confirmed my suspicions that, like, everyone fucking views everything I do through this lens of manipulation when they know you're a narcissist. And, like, she said some things that felt like jabs, and, like, it was a whole I have a video on it. I'm outside in it. Wait, you spread the ankle archives on Discord? Is there, like, a fucking secret, like, exchange of my ankle pics going around that I didn't know about? I got some meds to curb my Sid craving. Oh, hi, Mama Wolf, by the way. Not working. Yeah. I have never had a medication that actually... See, I'm not sure how much of it is, like, craving and how much of it is just, like, habit. You know what I mean? I think once I up this medication, though, oh my God, it's going to be a life changer. I can tell. I'm not sure it's ethical to turn these streams into see what Jacob does for self-esteem juice / money. You'll get in trouble with the PETN, People for the Ethical Treatment of Narcissists. I'm actually the CEO of PETN, and I approve of this. Oh my God, I have my limits almost. If the worst thing we want to do is fucking show my ankles, and I think we're on a good track so far. PETN. I need to, like, mobilize a group of people and just get them to harass anybody who says anything bad about narcissists, being like saying like the same slogans of like, narcissists are friends, not food. Oh man. I love it. It's like, guys, PETN might get us in trouble for this. Then immediately somebody is like, ankle pick, please. Fine. I'm going to, can you be a board? Yes, Christine is a board member now. Congratulations. All right, I'm not showing anything other than the ankle. I'm preparing. PETN is going to get on our ass. Don't tell on me. Ankle. Shit. I got prescribed Mirzaprine for work-related acute stress. I just found out that it's usually prescribed for dementia. Really? That's surprising. Dementia and what the fuck? So like they just completely fucked that one up. I swear to God, like people when they go to psychiatrists, they end up just treating themselves. You know what I mean? It's like, well, this medication wasn't working. Maybe you should put me on this instead. Put me on Adderall. I'm sure that'll fix things. I just do. And you're just like, yep, it's cool. Steve's in here like, man, Steve, I hope you were here longer than that. Well, actually, I hope you weren't. Yeah, we used to talk about narcissism on this stream. Now we just talk about this shit. My ADHD meds make me want to smoke weed and eat pizza in bed. Not sure they're working. You probably have to adjust to like that constant need for stimulation. You know what I mean? Because when you have ADHD, you're constantly looking for things to do. You're doing it all the time, right? But then once you get that, because you need more dopamine. Once you have that dopamine, you're kind of sitting there like, well, I'm chill. I'm good. I don't really need to do that right now. That's my opinion, at least. And that's just something that you just have to decide you want to focus on something, I guess. Narcissists don't experience other people as separate individuals, but as two-dimensional extension of themselves. Does this mean narcissists don't see other people as 2D objects? Well, obviously, literally, we don't, right? It's like, people sometimes say like, oh, narcissists view people as objects. And it's like, what does that mean? Because I look at the, what's it called? Sorry, I keep getting distracted because I'll read something in the chat, think about something else, and then... Anyways, but it's like, obviously, a person is a person. I can't be like, oh yeah, that person's the same as this desk. No, a person's a person. For me, everybody's obviously their own individuals. Everybody's obviously people. But how does that compare to the normal experience? Why do people say that? For me, it's because I'm expecting people to fill almost roles in my life. Like, everybody's a character in my story. And if you don't fit my story, then, like, that's intolerable. You're reflecting an image of me that I cannot tolerate. For example, in my relationships, there's one really good example I have that there was this girl who she was like my fresh start, so to speak. It's like I haven't dated anybody for years. And this is going to be my first time dating after years. And I'm going to be completely happy with this person. This is my redemption arc. And so I forced her into this box of, oh, the only person that you are, the only quality about you that I even acknowledge is the idea that you are, the only thing I acknowledge is that, like, is that part in my story. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. So, like, I feel like that, so in a way, I guess you could say that we do view people as 2D objects. It just depends on what role they have in our lives. Guys, stop talking up speed in the chat, please. Mar, I am going to think about my favorite NPD fun fact. I'm curious now. It doesn't do anything for you, really? You guys are fucking nuts. Wait, you're on 20 milligrams, Cassandra? Because I'm on 15 milligrams twice a day. And that's on the low side for me. I think I was on 30 twice a day at one point. Wellbutrin gave you serious panic attacks? Really? Like, I'm on Wellbutrin. I'm just kind of chilling. I recognize them as people, but I have this underlying intuition that they're all NPCs. Yeah, I know. Yeah, like, there's that, like, Phoenician King gets it. Like, it's like they're dogs, you know what I mean? It's like, they're people. Obviously, they're people, but it's like they're still beneath me, and they're still kind of like this idea of, like, whatever. Like, I describe them as kind of like, it's like robots. You can type something in on the back of them, and they'll do kind of what you tell them to. It's kind of obvious, and other robots go into the behinds of other robots, and they tap on them. It's all random. It doesn't make any sense. Holy shit, 100 milligrams D of fucking the Adderall? A 100 milligrams of Adderall. Holy shit. Do you think that you will continue your education at some point? Just curious. I haven't decided. Probably not. I can't see if there's a reason for me to that would actually benefit my life, maybe. But like at this point in my life, I can't see something happening that would make it that I should go back to school. It's like, how is that going to benefit any of my goals realistically in the next couple of years? Oh my God. Does everybody see, does anybody see D's profile picture? Anyways, finishing King. I take like 20 milligrams XR. Do you take it once do you take it once or twice a day? I take it twice a day and it's fine, more or less, on 15. Again, I was at 30 at one point. It doesn't upset me. I think it's hilarious, but I'm also just kind of like, you people are crazy. My daughter was on Adderall in high school, college. I keep it a secret. People kept asking her to buy some off her. Yeah. I've had that happen too. I'm like older, in college especially. I've never really considered it, but because it's like, why would I? They tried to fucking rip me off too. I have thought about studying psychology, but it's like it's the thing is, it's that psychology doesn't interest me. It's personality disorders do. It's like I don't want to learn how to treat personality pathology, or treat other mental illnesses and stuff like that, or just normal psychological functions. I just want to learn about personality disorders. So if there was like a personality disorder degree, fuck yeah, I'm done. But I don't. I can't see it really having a practical benefit because, everyone has a psychology degree. Sorry if anybody's studying psychology, but also, like, it's not something that's going to actively engage me. Serotonin level theory of depression is debunked thoroughly by a huge meta study earlier this year. Oh, really? Really? Oh, that's fat. John, sir, you may have just inspired a video. Because fucking Prozac was like fucking back when like that first became a thing, like everyone was ride or die on that. They were like, oh, we fix psychology. If you have a link to that, John, sir, I would love to read it. I'm going to try to look into it later because I'm just writing down what you said. Explains why SSRIs don't fucking work for any of my cluster buddies. Yeah, Wellbution's on SSRI. It's like the only thing, like, because they put me on var, I can't pronounce it, for depression. I was like, nothing has changed. My mood swings are better though. Bye, MCCM. They could still work, but like, yeah, exactly. But like the fact that like it's not, because like everybody thinks it's because serotonin. I have to fucking, I cannot wait to read that. That's fascinating. Also, James, Jesus. Nomad the Adventurer said, I disagree with the debunking of that study from personal experience. Oh, that's what John Esther was talking about. Okay. Isn't depression and anxiety tied to MPD? Why would taking the meds be a long-term treatment? It's not long-term. Well, not how I use meds anyway. Well, the thing is, there's things in the brain that are fucked up and aren't ever going to really change. But, like, wouldn't you want to use meds while you're treating, like, aren't you going to treat the symptoms while you're treating the bigger issue, too, until you can deal with the symptoms on your own? That's my personal opinion, at least. Prozac gave you palpitations. Yeah, Christine, I agree. Like, I think there's some that's like, okay, you're going to be on these for the rest of your life just because you need to be, like, fucking, like, antipsychotics in some instances. But still. I took Prozac in college in the 90s when it was big and had a massive difference. Does Prozac only act on serotonin and shit like that? Or does it have other effects too? Because I know, isn't Prozac used for in OCD as well? I've been taking my meds for less than a year. My Adderall may be a little bit longer, but Wellbutrin, I literally just started. I've just got off of Lamictal because I'm changing to a different medication. I was on Lamictal for like maybe, not even probably 6 months, maybe a little over 6 months. I'm off those now. Now I'm transferring over these antipsychotics, which I just started 2 months ago. But I've been in therapy for 4 years, and so... And yes, I've exercised. I don't get people who are like, "Oh, have you tried exercising to cure your mental illness?" Like, yeah, I like go on walks every day. Still a narcissist. Like I can't pronounce it. That's a psychedelic, isn't it? I don't know. I felt guilt. The first time I felt guilt was on shrooms. That's other than that, I get so depressed after I trip on acid. I don't do it anymore. But I did feel guilt once on shrooms, which was interesting. And I don't know, that's just a weird emotion. Like, I prefer it to shame. Fuck yeah. People are like, oh my God, guilt's so bad. No, fucking shame's way worse. What are you guys talking about? But it was a weird emotion. It was really weird. It was like fear at my actions almost. Like being horrified at my actions. Yeah, it does feel, and yeah, walking does feel good. I went on a walk today before I went on stream. Mar. Oh my God. How long does it take for you to have a positive impact from therapy for NPD? I would say within the first month there was a positive impact. It was subtle, right? It's not like there was anything life-changing, but it's just like challenging some of these maladaptive thought processes, making me question things about like how I acted and why I was doing things. I would say it would almost instantly, but it's gradual and it's very, very slow and it's a lot of work. I was diagnosed after 2 years, mainly because that's when I started being completely honest. And also my therapist didn't specialize in personality disorders, so she also didn't notice some of the signs, and I accepted it basically instantly. I never had any opposition to it. I took pride in it. I thought it was cool. I was like, yeah, I'm a narcissist. I can manipulate the fuck out of people. it took a long time to kind of reconstruct that in my mind, what my narcissism actually meant, how it was a disorder, and not like, it wasn't just a label, it was something that impacted my life in a negative way, and potentially people around me as well, and to treat it as like a disease to address, not as just like a quirky personality traits. What happens when a narcissist doesn't have a non-maladaptive way of getting self-esteem juice? They're going to use the non-maladaptive, well, doesn't have a non-maladaptive, so they only have maladaptive ways, because in my opinion, then they're going to choose the maladaptive ways. Because like, I will be, and that's the thing, is that's what separates, because everybody needs self-esteem juice to some degree, right? Like all of you guys going to need positive affirmation from somebody at some point regarding something. That's where the difference is between, I think that's how we can draw the pathology right there. If you guys want praise and affirmation, and there's a healthy way to do it and a non-healthy way to do it, and you don't have the way to get the healthy one, you'll just walk away from it. You're like, okay, fine, I don't need it that bad. You might feel shitty, but it's not like the end of the world. For us, if one, like, the option of walking away from that situation isn't even there. It's either we're getting it the healthy way or the non-healthy way. Anything else is not cool. I've noticed many psychologists don't know anything about cluster Bs. I would say, I don't know about psychologists, but like fucking counselors and shit, 100%. Most therapists, because to get a master's, you only have to take it's insane. One abnormal psych class to start fucking treating patients. Insane. Nomad the Adventurer, I wish I felt, how'd you feel about it, Nomad? Also, did I say hi to you, Tequila Mocking Narcissist? Were you late, or did you just show up, or did I completely miss you? Do you feel love towards an imaginary person that you fantasize about? I feel I might. Fuck, I know what you mean. Like the wording, Fuck, I get what you mean. Oh god, that's funny. Yeah, like the fantasy person, right? It's like, oh my god, I know my soulmate's out there, and this is what they're going to be like, and we're going to be so happy, we're going to have kids, and like fall into a maladaptive fantasy of like fucking whatever. I would feel, but like, I would say the only difference is I feel like in the beginning of my relationships, when I kind of can make somebody fit that, like, what's it called? Well, it's not love, it's limerence, right? The infatuation. When I first meet somebody and I can make them fit that role for like 2 seconds, I feel that infatuation towards them. But the kind of love, but then again, unless you actually mean, you don't mean infatuation, you mean like love, or what we think is love, because in that case, yes, as well. We're on the same page. I'm having you're asking good questions because they're very relatable, and I also realize I don't have the words to be able to describe them. Are there reliable test or screening tools for NPD? It's very easy to cheat on those questionnaires if you want to. That's true for any personality test, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's true for everything. The most reliable one I know of is the Pathological Narcissism Inventory. Pathological Narcissism Inventory. It's really good. It's actually using it's very research based, and it actually covers both grandiose and vulnerable facets. And it's just really good. There's not much else to say about it. I score very highly on it, obviously. I like max out the fucking scales. It's a bitch. John Steer says, limerence part of a parcel being your 20s, I reckon, never got in my 30s. Dude, honestly, like, because at first I was like, nah, this is just a cluster B thing. I think it might be a cluster B plus young thing. Because I know my mod Backpack, she hasn't had that for like years, and she's in her 30s, and she's diagnosed NPD. But she used to have it similarly to how I do. But yeah, I am, like, you might be right. I am curious if it's just a cluster B plus being young instead of like just a cluster B thing that I said. I saw your video on Dr. Romney. You mentioned Sam Vaknin, but I couldn't find your video on your thoughts on him. Curious about your general opinion about his work. That should still be up, unless it got taken down. Basically, just to sum it up, I like Sam Vaknin. I think he says a lot of cool things. Like, okay, that's a weird way to phrase it. I think he says some things that like are generally true. There's a lot of things I do disagree with him on, but they aren't things that I would nitpick over. But he's very lost in his grandiosity, and he generalizes a lot. And I think the most important thing that people need to know going into his work is that he doesn't have the credentials that he presents himself to have. He admits that his doctorate he got from a diploma mill. He does not have any, and that was a physics degree. He doesn't have any degrees in psychology, whatsoever. He has never done clinical work. And you can still enjoy his content. I still enjoy his content occasionally. I think you can still enjoy it and still take a lot of things away from that. Acknowledging that, but I do think that I have not a duty, but I think it's responsible for people to know that he doesn't have the credentials that he does. Vaknin is fun, but pretty intense. Like, he's the definition of dramatic. He really is. His comedy is better than the education. I don't think he's that bad. Vaknin is highly intelligent, but he thinks that it excuses him from putting the effort. Yeah, he justifies his narcissism with his intelligence. He's like, well, I deserve to be a narcissist because I'm intelligent. And I'm like, buddy, that's not how it works. Johnster, you fucking... I read that in his fucking voice. Oh, wait. What did Judy have to go through? I'm sorry, but yeah. Hey, TJ Tampa's here. What's happening? TJ, I'm about to head out, but yeah. The introduct. Oh God, I'm gonna start sounding racist if I try to do that. Never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, I tried to read his book, and it's a very meta case study on grandiosity. That's such a good way to put... See, that's the value that Sam Vaknin has right there, is what is it like being in the head of somebody who, sorry, I got distracted because Jack said something. I want to get on that too, though. But, yeah, it's like... What does somebody who knows about narcissism but doesn't know that they know that they're a narcissist but doesn't really address... Who is somebody who is an unhinged narcissist? How do they think and what do they think about narcissism? And what do they think the takeaways are? Because that's fucking Sam Vaknin's work right there. Black and white, sweeping generalizations, largely speaking to own experience, but backing it up with alleged credentials. Etc., etc. Yeah. He's valuable in that way. It feels like when a person is doing what he's doing, highly narratively focused psychodynamic stuff, that academic psychology becomes less important than if he was doing something more scientific. It's like one person that he's doing narratively focused psychodynamic stuff, that academic psychology. I mean, yeah. Not much else to say about it. I really appreciate what you shared about your sister and her sociopathy, and your dad was so relatable. I thought I was the only one. Oh, I'm glad. I'm sad that I have to share that shit, but yeah. It sucks that you relate, but I hate fucking telling people about that. But I'm glad you relate at the very least. It's something else. People don't know what sociopathy actually looks like when it's untreated. Ever listen to HD Tutor? Yes, I hate him. If I'm being honest. He has I dislike him more in Sam Vaknin, honestly, because he seems less honest. He has a... Let me put it this way. He's a good case study on hierarchical thinking. A meta case study on hierarchical thinking. His Tolkien-esque rating of narcissists. Did Sam Vaknin let Richard Graham mess around with his wife? He constantly goes on about feeling an urge for humiliation, glorification. I feel like I shouldn't talk about that here. HD Tutor is there for shock value, right? He's trying to make a horror story of psychology. The narcissist and the borderline. Like, he's trying to make a narrative, a Tolkien-esque narrative out of psychology. What makes a pathological narcissist? Google confuses me. How do you mean, like, makes as in, like, what makes somebody a pathological narcissist, or, like, what turns them into one? The criteria? Oh, so, like, what the criteria? Well, so, it's I can read off the act. Okay, so it's complicated. First of all, before I answer, wait. Okay, whoa, two things. One, Cassandra, I excelled in science and history were my main, and English were my main three. Science, history, and English. Math I was terrible at. Also, you think you know who HG is? Feel free to email me. I'm interested. And then, but yeah, okay. But here's the thing is that, like, so pathological narcissism is different from narcissistic personality disorder. And also, hi Alex, I'm glad I'm back too. I need to answer this question for, I have to go, but, like, I'm trying to answer things. But, like, so there's narcissistic personality disorder, which is a psychological construct to try to encapsulate pathological narcissism. Pathological narcissism is basically a bunch of traits that we have identified in clinical populations to describe somebody who has a mental illness or has maladaptive narcissistic traits. So NPD is criteria to trying to emulate what pathological narcissism is. NPD does a terrible job at that. The actual criteria are grandiosity. Like, NPD per the DSM is grandiosity, feelings of being special, arrogant or haughty attitudes, excessive need for admiration, entitlement, where are the rest? Somebody help me out. I got 5. What are the other ones that I have? Fuck. Aaron, I'm thinking about, like, the DSM, because pathological lying isn't in the DSM. Yeah, fantasies of unlimited power, wealth, success. Interpersonal exploitativeness. Johnster, you got it. Lack of empathy. How did I forget lack of empathy? Then there's one more. Hierarchical thinking is pathological narcissism, but it's not the criteria for DSM. Pathological ankle showing. No, I'm joking. There's one more. What is it? Yeah, because pathological narcissism, like, if you're pathologically narcissistic, you have both overt and covert narcissistic traits. Unfortunately, though, the DSM only describes external behavior, so it's only capturing some of the external grandiose shit. They did want to. They're not going to, though. They wanted to because basically a bunch of the research around narcissism that had been done was based off the DSM-5 criteria, even though that was a bad representation of pathological narcissism. I think getting rid of it would have been the worst move in the world, but still. Yeah, like, one second. I'm just gonna fucking look up the last goddamn criteria, because I don't know how I missed it. Because I used to think it was hypersensitivity to criticism, but then apparently I just fucking made that up because at least that's a fucking, like, that should be a criteria, hypersensitivity to criticism. Unlike, I don't know, like, interpersonal exploitation, it's true, but also it's so poorly defined. I actually did know that, yeah. It was just to give you kind of like, well, it wasn't, not that it shouldn't be used for diagnosis, it's just that it shouldn't be used as like the end-all be-all, right? I think that was mentioned in The Body Keeps the Score. That, like, they were basically kind of like, this is just like some experiences and like some constructs that might help you know what's going on. It wasn't like, if it's not in here, it's not a mental illness like it is nowadays. Now it's the Bible of psychiatry, as they say. Wait, Dia, what question? I'm looking up the symptoms right now, because we're still missing one. So pathological narcissism is basically the pathological personality traits that the DSM-5 is trying to encapsulate with narcissistic personality disorder. So I am a pathological narcissist, right? I am that regardless of any diagnosis I have, right? But I'm also diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. They're labels trying to describe the same thing, but one's a diagnosis and one is just who I am. Does that make sense? Like, it's basically NPD, but not a diagnosis. It doesn't make sense. Okay, I know it's. I'm like, it's not that you're stupid. I'm just fucking like, it's hard for me to describe the differences between it. Like, let's put it this way. Okay, so erase everything I just said. So a pathological narcissist is somebody who has narcissistic traits that impedes in their functioning, right? And anybody could be that, of course, if you have all the traits. And it's like a combination of both grandiose and covert features. And then, wait, you didn't even ask about... Guys, okay, wait. I can't fucking believe I forgot this one. Guess what symptom criteria we missed? And D, I'm not forgetting you. It's just I actually found the symptom criteria that I missed. Somebody take a guess, because I can't believe we forgot this one. Nah, I wish childhood trauma was a criteria, if I'm being honest. No, we hit constant validation. No, not shame, James. Not grandiosity, TJ. Lack of self isn't in DSM. Juice. Vulnerability of life. Nah, not in DSM. Okay. Drum roll. I thought my fingers were going to be a lot louder than it actually was. It's envy. We forgot envy, and being envious of others, and everybody else thinking that everybody else is envious of us. I can't believe we forgot that one. But anyways, D. So I have a study for you. Yes, envy is one of the symptom criteria in the DSM, Maggie. So, Dee, do you want to hear like traits that make up a pathological narcissist? I recognize you're smart, Mar. God. So, so basically, there's this there's just a study called Living with Pathological Narcissism, a quantitative study. So basically, what they did was they got a bunch of people who were pathologically narcissistic, right? And got accounts from their partners, what this person acted like, to get a bunch of traits together that were common for narcissists. And here are the list. Here's the list. So, and these things are and like I also have examples if after I'm done listing these off, if you guys want actual examples. So here the first two nodes are going to be vulnerability and grandiosity. So these first two, I'll say when I go to the next group, these first two, this is like base narcissism. The rest of these can be like more on the malignant side or like the perfectionistic side or the paranoid side, stuff like that. So this is baseline narcissism that I'm reading out. First, insecurity, false self, hiding the self, affective instability, withdrawal, arrogance, entitlement, hypersensitivity, contingent self-esteem, requiring admiration or attention seeking, charming, devaluing, compromise empathic ability, and rage. Also, contingent self-esteem means like you don't my self-esteem is based off of what you're saying about me, right? So that's core narcissism right there. And then if you want to get into some of the and then there's another node called perfectionism, which is associated, just not nearly as strongly. And then there's the malignant narcissist traits. Exploitation, victim mentality, emotionally empty or cold, and vengeful. And then there's the those are the ASPD traits. And then there's the paranoid traits, which is envy and jealousy, suspiciousness, grandiose fantasy, belief in specialness, and grandiose sense of self-importance. It's really interesting because you look at these nodes, and it's like the first two, it's like, okay, you have grandiose and vulnerable narcissism, which are highly correlated. 69% of narcissists have these traits coinciding. Then you get to the more malignant ones or paranoid ones. It's very interesting. It is a lot to deal with at once. Oh, it is. Narcissism complicated. I feel like I've been so slow today. I don't know why. I feel like I've been slow lately. I'm a little tired. Do you guys ever get that feeling where it's it feels like you're the air is thicker? Does that make sense? You dance in the strip, yeah. I went on a pretty long walk before I went on here. I do think I'm about ready to finish up here though. But yes, thank you all very much for stopping by. Thanks for making me dance like an idiot. And I hope y'all take your fucking meds. And have a good day.